Day your
Dad, why
dad's
don't you come
birthday?
sit down?
I will, I feel like that came for.
Yesterday,
June the
June
6th.
7th.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
he's
is your chair.
It's just
This-
on.
You sit there,
Second.
Jack should be sitting there,
You know what
or
I did? I thought.
No,
it was-
you should be over here.
Richard.
You should.
Come on, baby.
I don't.
You need to be
I'm
sitting.
just,
I am sitting.
I don't.
You don't
really
have any
remember,
comfort
but
on your
I
back.
know, I
This is
remember my
fine.
life.
You,
Darling, don't.
you've had surgery and I haven't.
Mother Rush.
No, he said surgery and I haven't.
Well,
He had 3 knee operations, that's it.
left knee, the right knee.
Yeah, and don't tell me the, oh, the camera's on.
Chicken. Okay, be yourselves.
Y'all were
Patty hiding over there. She's hiding.
We
Get her
were
off the
talking
TV.
about,
Patty.
No,
family, Richard.
no, I'll get off.
I was the oldest, so I only knew what happened after my remembrance of family. Do you and Tom remember Mother's parents?
Oh, yeah.
You remember them?
Yeah.
What kind of people were they?
Well, no, wait, I don't, the only time I ever saw them, they were in bed.
In bed?
With the cancer.
I know.
Right
Oh,
on there.
they both died of
Yeah.
cancer.
Thank you.
6 months apart.
They were always in bed every time I ever saw them.
And Mother's the one that said to me, she said, Beverly, one day she said, she may have said to more than just Beverly, that her parents had cancer. They died 6 months apart, and all their children, none of their children affected them, and that it could skip a generation, and I guess it got me.
Well, I was trying to get back
Well, I don't think well, of course, I don't think there's any scientific.
Well, I just wondered.
But you know what, it's kind of funny, because the oncologist told me that last year.
Because you got,
That out of
you know, it's
all
like this
the,
and all the people
out
right
of the
here,
whole
you got this
country,
much.
35% of all
This
lung
much.
cancers out of the whole country
Well,
are
it needs to be
centralized right
just
here in the
back in
Ohio
line.
Valley.
You know,
That
this.
is a lot.
Oh,
That makes
yeah.
you wonder
So it'd
what's
be more of
here.
a down.
But her parents were from
But we can
Kentucky.
just,
I mean, they weren't from,
It makes you
Here,
wonder.
look,
they
this.
were from Kentucky, but they were here. They
Well,
were,
Mother,
No, wait a
that's
minute, I
different, that
think-
was different.
I think they were from Clarksburg.
her parents lived in Clarksburg,
Excellent.
West Virginia.
that's where she was born.
Well, I thought Benny said they were buried down here
Remember?
in Kentucky.
Who?
I thought Tom said, am I wrong? That Mother's
Grandparent,
parents,
your hearts.
grandparents.
They're buried in Kentucky. They lived in Wayland, Kentucky.
That's where they're buried.
That's where they're buried, yeah.
I've never
This
seen
is a
their
good pizza with
cemetery.
everything.
I've never seen, I don't know, I've seen cemeteries.
Yeah, it is.
Wait,
It's not my thing to do.
Like I was saying, normally
It's
normally it's like
Big
double.
Sandy.
Oh, it's not.
Oh, the little
Yeah.
Sandy.
Plain, yeah, the
Yeah.
other place, that's why we used to go
Wait,
there
what
so much.
part
Yeah.
of Kentucky?
It's on,
Far east, Floyd
it's,
County.
Oh, Floyd County?
That's where.
Well, I'm gonna go down and see the
But
Dukes.
Mother,
sometime.
why'd she come up with
Yeah,
this?
Hazard?
Dukes and Hazard? His girlfriend's from Hazard.
Yeah, I know she is.
It skips generations.
And her mother lives right on the side of a hill.
scientific.
Yep,
I
down the
mean,
holler, down a one
literally.
lane holler, they just now paved the
Grandmother
road.
had it.
Mine's,
Right,
my aunt and uncle lived there.
Hazard?
that's true.
And he was so close to
Hazard,
his mother
Kentucky.
that after she died,
Yeah.
he totally changed.
Oh, yeah.
After grandmother died.
That's
his
true.
mother.
Yeah.
Well,
He was
mine's,
close.
mine's father was a judge, wasn't
Yes.
he? Circuit judge?
No,
Granddaddy Hart was a judge.
He was a superintendent of the mines.
No.
Yeah,
Mom
he
always
was.
said a judge, though.
No, Mom always said Granddaddy Hart was a judge.
that's what they called him. He was a squire.
Yeah.
Back in those days, they called him.
But see, what it is,
She's political,
they lived in
but-
No, Mark.
they lived in the
Mark.
big house.
You gotta
of
open the lens.
In the coal company.
Right.
They had a beautiful, big, wood frame house that's painted white. All the other houses were just boards.
Right.
And, what did it do?
After I was born, they painted it green,
What?
the house.
The white one?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, I don't remember that.
I don't either. I was quite young at the time.
But see,
But-
I have no remembrance.
he was,
I have no remembrance of mother's side family.
all those people, all of mom's people
Because of
were
the flood.
coal miners. And now they don't,
I thought that was granddaddy.
well, granddad was the only miner.
Equal to 3.
The rest of them, the rest of his
No
brothers,
way.
Uncle Bill was, Granduncle Bill was a coal miner.
Oh, really?
You get up there?
And that, oh, yeah.
Granddad,
The house where Dad and Mom lived when they first got married. was just a
Play.
well, he did that, but he,
shotgun.
I'm trying to think. He went up in the mines
Maybe.
to, it's sort of a
He smells
efficiency
food.
expert.
So and they normally not that
Granddad,
Come on.
Can you have a little
to
piece?
clean the, they were having trouble because they had all the slag they had to get rid of and it was in the way and they couldn't, they weren't producing any coal. And Granddad told them that they had to put in some railroad tracks to get some cars in there and haul that stuff out.
He's eating the mushroom out of all the,
Out of the way.
everything he's eating is eating the mushroom.
And they had a whole bunch of guys
It's a
down there working
vegetarian
for
cat.
people that couldn't
We
stand
had
it.
one like that.
Vegetarian. What? I had a vegetarian cat.
Yeah.
He would
His
not eat
brothers
one bit of meat.
Didn't do
I
that.
caught him one day eating broccoli and
Well,
cauliflower with
See,
cheese sauce.
Granddad
He would not eat meat. He would not
May have
eat
been
chicken,
some-
fish,
And he would not drink water unless it had
and
ice.
ice in it.
Ice? Oh, wow.
Oh,
What do you call it?
You got a
Aspire?
strange cat there,
Exactly.
Bob.
That's what I heard that.
He would not
he
eat,
was
drink
the-
water unless it had ice in it.
Superintendent of all those mines down there.
That's all those people.
Are one of these yours?
Mine, yeah, mine's empty though, so
Mine's getting close.
They call him Judge.
either or. I gotta give me
That's
another.
all, we were heard as a judge.
Well, he,
Yeah,
That's
when,
all she ever
when I
said.
can trace back through and find
That's
older
what I'm
people,
trying to find out.
it was always Judge Hart.
Judge Hart.
That's all they knew about.
Huh?
That's all they knew about.
Yeah, that's what
But he
Mom
was
said.
more.
And mother was very political.
His
That's
brother
what
was-
that.
My mother.
Oh,
I'm going right here for a minute.
I mean, she was political. She had concert.
I tell you, she used to tell some good stories. Because the boys, she was out walking down the street with some of her girlfriends. And there was a bunch of boys doing some work, painting a building. And they stopped and was talking to Mom and the other girls. And this one boy says, to this other fellow says, hey, his dad was owned some kind of a business. He says, hey, tell him who I am and what my dad is. He didn't want to know he was just a common old laborer out there working.
Yeah, oh, I know.
But the boy used to come by and give her a nickel at the house. Hold on to this, we'll go to the movie Friday. And so he saved the money to pay for the, when they went to the movie. I think it was a nickel. She used to tell stories, something like that, that just floored me because
Grandma?
My mother.
She used to be a diver.
She was my favorite.
My
Grandma?
mother.
Yes.
Was a diver.
You know, diver, you know.
Yeah, dive.
She would dive off of stuff that the boys were afraid to dive off
And
of.
Wes included.
Really?
Oh, I didn't know that.
That Granddaddy Hart was a judge.
I don't know about
Well,
head
he probably
first, I'll
was, I
go feet
just didn't
first,
know.
so. I don't know about head first, but I'd go, I'll
The only
go
thing
feet
I ever
first.
knew
Deal, but that's all they ever
Then-
knew about.
Huh?
It was no big deal. But
No, it wasn't a
Now,
judge as you know it.
there's something else I need to know.
All right.
And to wash out, you know, it's not gossip stuff or anything like that. But
I didn't do it.
remember-
I don't want to hear it, Dad. No.
Remember when you went to stay
yeah.
with Uncle George?
Yeah, right.
And he's a single
Right.
minister.
Right.
Didn't you date Thelma first?
Oh.
Yes, I did.
I was right.
I know, I went to
You
school.
were dating Thelma first and he got jealous, didn't he?
Yeah, he was giving me his car to drive. That's true.
I was right.
You're not supposed to tell us.
And like, I went up to, a few years back, I stopped by Covington and had Mark with me. And I said, I was looking for Uncle George, he was north.
Sure does like that.
I didn't call.
Oh, look at it.
I want to find myself. And finally I was brave enough and I went up and knocked on the door. And Uncle George opened the door.
His eyes.
I go,
they're almost
Uncle
like
George
human
is
eyes.
Beverly.
Yeah, big they are and the
I was
white.
talking
You
to
know,
him.
it's in
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
I mean, I can
And
see
he
the
let
white in
Mark
them.
and
Normal
I
cats
come
you can't see
in.
that.
It's gone.
And,
That mushrooms gone.
You like
Is that where
that,
it is?
Marley?
I
Just
don't,
got sausage.
Wes says he can't find
Where's
it.
another one?
And anyway, we sat and visited for a while. They took a few
You like that?
pictures, because you must send to Betty Ann. Because Betty Ann
Can
said,
I
girl,
run
you're
this
as
one?
beautiful
Hey,
as you were as a baby.
Look
And
at
I'm
him.
Me.
I know
He
it.
doesn't like me.
And,
You better ugly in your life, girl.
See if we
and
can.
Betty Ann said that, wrote me a letter and
gosh.
said that.
Look at that pizza. It's
And-
awesome pizza.
Uncle George,
It was
and
good.
Velma goes,
Think it-
how's Jack
Not as
doing?
good as the other one.
I didn't know
Yeah,
whether to
same.
answer or not.
I don't see
Remember,
any
your
mushrooms.
Jack-
Just like that, so.
Yeah,
That
that
was
lady,
a
she
true
did say
Yeah,
Preston
too.
Road.
You remember the
Preston
time when,
or
Luther
yeah,
got
she did
shot?
say that.
George got chills.
When Uncle Luther got shot?
Yeah.
Heard about that.
Hey, well, Wesley was around when up there when that happened, didn't
What's it?
it? Uncle Luther,
Uncle Luther,
when he got shot.
by the cops, or
Oh,
by the cop.
Luther didn't get
was-
Do you remember you told
He got
us?
shot about 15 times.
Yeah.
I remember
Wow.
Richie, you tell that
you
story
sitting in
to
the
Barbara.
fountain one day.
Put that on top of
And Mom getting so mad, she said, you shouldn't be telling outsiders
Somebody
things
put
like
it
that.
He really did get shot?
Reach that arm.
6 times,
Yeah.
five or six times.
For what?
Halloween break. Steal
Well,
the
you
chickens.
know, he was
Out
bad.
there in those hollers,
Well,
they
he
shot
was-
anybody.
He was bad to drink.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Mother said they used to shoot at Uncle
He's afraid of it.
Luther a lot.
He's
Well,
mean.
He was
You-
Aunt
Uncle
Helen's
Luther was
husband.
He was mean?
Yeah, he mean.
I recall that he
Oh,
was.
honor
I
him. He
recall
just honored
hearing
him,
it.
you know.
Because
Oh,
Aunt
yeah.
Helen
He was a
always
hillbilly.
decided
He,
that, like,
he,
Oh, I know it.
he
Yeah.
had his throat cut.
My God.
He ducked his head and they cut him from here,
Got everybody in there.
clear around here into his mouth.
he wasn't our blood uncle.
Glad we got the pen around.
Yeah, he married our aunt.
He was married to my mother's sister.
Got shot twice in the fountain, once through this arm, once through this one. Him just eating a hamburger and a fight break out in somebody's shoes.
Oh, no.
Then he got shot 5 times in the belly.
Oh my God.
After he finally died.
He fell off the top of the church. Broke
If I
his
take a
leg.
picture of you taking a picture
Yeah,
of me,
broke his leg.
I
cancel each
said
other
that.
out.
Was riding in a
I
car,
doubt
going
it.
around this sharp curve. The guy come around the
I
other
believe I got
way
everybody
around.
in this. I got everybody.
Well, take it
He
from me.
reached over and got a hold of the
Oh, this one's
armrest
the-
on the car.
Is the
Oh,
panoramic?
They went
panoramic.
off the
So it's-
road
Are you good at taking
and
them?
hit a
Yeah, I got
No.
signpost.
decent. I can't say I'm
He
not a
flipped the door
photographer.
handle. The car slid around it, jerked the door open and threw him out in the gravel. And his overalls looked like he'd been shot with a shotgun.
Yeah.
And his legs were just full of
But
grit
he
sand.
lived a rough
All
life.
we're missing is
He-
one
he
person.
drank
I'd
bad.
say so.
And
He's a
but the
hard-
thing of it
He's
is,
drinking that Kentucky whiskey.
they had this,
Moonshine.
they lived in this,
Moonshine.
what do we call track houses now?
Right.
There was a bunch of houses in a row right, and I think it was right on the creek, wasn't it?
I don't know all
Well,
that.
right back of the
Yeah.
West Road River.
Well, that was the father. The father's house was here.
Yeah.
And here was one house for Luther. Back here's another house for the other brother. Back here was the old log house, a
Yeah.
plantation type house. And
Crazy. No,
they
wasn't
kept
all.
raising them up, to get above the flood level.
That's Betty Ann's father.
Well, they had it up so high that when the flood did get in it, and ruined everything he had, he decided he was gonna take the old log house, plantation house. So he goes over there and you got 4 rooms downstairs and 4 upstairs.
I don't know all this.
And the balconies, you go outside and up the steps. Well, they took a chimney out and put a set of steps in it. And he went upstairs and duplicated everything downstairs. And when the flood, and they kept their food up there. When the floods would come, he'd go upstairs. When the flood would leave, he'd come back out and push the mud out. Now, how those people had the heart to do that?
Yeah.
Year after year, time after time.
Huh,
The
straight.
mud would be that deep in their house.
Well, I remember Granddaddy used to drive, Granddaddy Adams used to drive, take us up
He did
that
that
by the
back
coal
in
mines
Did he?
and you see
Oh,
Dad.
Lord.
And I want to go in there. I'm going, no, you aren't going in there.
Yeah.
Well, I want to see what's in there. No way.
Yeah.
Shot 7 times total.
You wouldn't let us get near
No, I don't blame her.
Now, another question I need answered, and I think Wesley
Well,
can
get me.
answer it.
Uh-oh, now it's Wesley. You're on.
Wesley, you're on the hot plate.
I-
Got you.
To get peace of mind, isn't Jack Collins murder our Aunt Ruby
But
Lee?
you don't have to ask him that, you can ask me
You
that.
don't have to.
Did he?
That was in the paper.
He beat her to death.
That's why she was the sweetest, nicest person you'd ever want to know.
She's hard as
That
nails.
son of
She was hard as nails.
a. And what happened to him?
He was
Nothing.
hard as nails. He went to jail.
He went to
10 years.
jail for a little while.
For a year.
Yeah.
For murder?
Yeah.
And she had been married to Benton Wright,
Yeah. Which
and who was a dentist.
Oh,
And when Benton found it out, it took his heart out.
Mom, don't go telling family secrets.
That's not a family secret. Because there was my daddy's sister.
I know who it was.
well, it is.
Here, Trish.
It was true.
And,
Jack-
and he
No,
was
you
not
don't
a
ever
relative of ours.
No.
It was Ruby, and she was a
Where do you think
principal
you're going?
of the school.
Well, didn't
She
she-
was a,
Didn't Dr. Benton take Ruby for a ride?
yeah, he used Granddaddy and them to put him through college. Then when I lived in Lexington, and we belonged to the Lansdowne Country Club, where the small group, Benton Wright and his wife and his 2 daughters belonged to it. And I never spoke to him one time. Because I know my grandfather and them put him all the way through medical school.
Are you taping this, Mark?
So I had to like to,
Beverly.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's over and done with.
His dad, his
But
parents on
Ruby,
the-
Mother told me that Ruby was one of the sweetest people you'd ever know. Ludi had a temper. She wasn't bad, but she had a,
Well, let me tell you,
temper.
I went to, we went down there to stay
And that's a
because one of the
family
kids
secret.
was having babies. Mom was having a baby. We go down there and stay. And I think it was a bad polio breakout in Charleston. And they took us down there and get us out
his
of it.
family.
He was joking, Beverly.
And Tom was going to school, one school, and I was going to Ruby Lee school. Ruby Lee was my teacher. I never had a harder teacher in my life, man. That woman, whew, she was tough.
Who?
Ruby Lee,
She's tough principal.
tough is the word. She was
She
tough.
was a little sadistic too.
Well, Ludi told me that Ruby brought that on her.
She used to jab me a few times, I'll tell you, with
Just
a
get
pistol.
mixed up with Jack
Oh,
Hall.
well, hey, let me tell you something. She was driving the road. She was driving down the road and she had a flat tire. Jack Collins was one of her students.
We don't know
Right.
anything.
How come you're so quiet?
We don't know anything.
So I don't know the rest of it.
Well,
That thing they had on the other day.
I'm just telling you how they met.
Bill Clinton on it.
No, I know.
She had a flat tire and he stopped to help her out and he had on a pair of coveralls and nothing else.
They were asking him about all these, scams and all this
His
stuff.
coveralls were above the back.
There was like a one-on-one, they were
She
questioning
come on
him
and
and
told
stuff like that.
us.
I mean, it was like we were just getting
That
interviewed.
this guy was out there
You
helping.
see that the other
She
day?
didn't know who it was
Man, they asked him,
till later.
to compare Bond
And she liked what she saw.
and you know what he said? It's close but no cigar.
That's a fact.
Those,
Close but no cigar.
I love it.
oh, that's a joke, right?
Actually, I would
That's
say
one of the better ones I've heard, so that's the only reason.
No.
Ruby's
I thought you were serious because
I know.
Lily was just on.
Is that right?
Was it?
She was.
Oh, okay.
They asked her if she's gonna divorce Bill when he leaves the White House.
They probably not even sleeping in the same bed.
They haven't
When
been.
they reached the White House, they were probably sleeping in separate bedrooms.
They haven't been.
My mother told me that.
I don't know. A lot of those politicians are like that. I mean, how
And
Probably.
if
that's a hard thing to find out.
said, "Barely,
a couple
your
politicians that are
father was living
that good, you know what I'm saying? Because she has to be a
I'm sure
politician
they
too.
would. Yes.
And
Oh, yeah.
and to be together and to actually love each other and be a family thing and both of them be politicians. That's
I
And
know
good
that
politics
was
at the time.
family secret because she said that they.
I don't want her
I
to run
never
for
ever
senator
saw
in New
that
York.
newspaper.
oh, she is too.
Somebody
And
sent it to us.
Better go back to Arkansas.
It wasn't in a local paper.
No,
I never
I know. Why'd she
ever
pick New
read
York?
it.
Oh, I know, we all do.
I know.
Yeah,
Why'd she
I
pick
didn't
New
see it
York?
in the paper only from what hearsay.
I don't know, unless she's looking
And
for
I
some
wanted to make
financial
sure
backing.
that I
for the
wasn't
presidential
saying-
race.
I
Yeah.
wasn't thinking.
It was said somebody sent
But
it.
she's
Now,
heard
that's
it.
really
Hillary
good.
Clinton.
You want to put your
I
hand?
was
No,
telling
I
the Bill
just
joke.
don't
But that,
Beverly.
Is that camera on? No.
that's the truth.
It's not joke time.
Yeah,
It takes some
because
done, I'm
Carolyn
sure.
McKinney, who, they live in Lexington.
Oh, change the tape.
Her husband
It's still
and Guy
on.
used to work together in
They're both
the
on.
same company, like Jericho.
Oh.
He was a architect. Well, one day we had gone to their home, this is years later, and Carolyn started questioning me about a few things. And she said something about didn't Ruby's husband kill her. I said her second husband did. It wasn't bitten right.
Back to Rublin.
And then she said, well, I want you to know something.
I had no idea.
She said, I want you to know something that I only barely knew this woman, met her at a few conventions. That Granddaddy Adams and her grandmother were brother and sister.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, that notion.
So that makes them her a cousin. Did this.
I missed
Great.
something. I just don't, who did what to who now?
Uh-oh, here we go. Thanks,
I missed it, honey.
Well, I had two stories going.
Well, give me the story.
First, she asked me about Ruby.
Yes, okay.
And said, didn't her husband murder her? Well, I said, yes. That, from what I'm understanding.
Yeah.
But it was Jack
The
Collins,
second husband.
the second husband.
I'm getting good.
Then it got back to the point of, why she asked me. And she said, well, your grandfather,
She don't even.
That's it.
Essie Adams,
I
and
wonder.
her grandmother, my brother and sister.
That's the.
Oh, okay.
So that makes us relatives, but cousins, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, well, that's possible.
Way back.
Right.
I mean, and then she turned around to the guy and said, well, guy, just think we're cousins.
Okay. That sounds like an Iceman story, Mom.
I had no idea.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the years they worked together and know each other. And I had barely spoken. If I really looked at her, she has that Adams
Over there.
walk.
I don't know about
They're
that.
always flirting.
Yeah.
That makes us royalty then. That makes us royalty then. It's like the
Really?
English
I haven't
royalty.
heard or seen her since, so I'm sure she doesn't hear. But it's interesting how you find out you're related to somebody
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
that you didn't know.
You know,
And they didn't know there
That's a
was
cat, not a dog.
It's kind of funny.
He's very temperamental, so.
Hey, it's Kentucky.
Get out of my shoe.
He loves shoes.
Sometimes I think my head's screwed up and then I find out some of these things are
Don't
actually
eat her shoes.
true.
Right.
Well, why do you think that after Aunt Leona went out and paid all that money to get the family tree,
And
Look at
and
yeah,
she went out there and had this family tree run down?
Right.
And as soon as she got it, she buried it.
Laura, right. She buried it?
She wasn't gonna let nobody see it.
Who's that?
She used to tell me stories about our family.
Who's that
I
guy?
write stories
Huh?
at school.
She had the family tree run down.
Who did?
Leona.
Leona.
Oh,
family tree.
You came back with some.
Apparently.
I
that's straight
got
up.
a piece of that tree.
Yeah. Well, you may have got a piece of it, there's a bunch of it she got rid of. She said,
It must have been pig farmers or something.
no, they horse thieves. There's everything in everybody's family, you know.
Hey, Steve.
Well, you go back
Family
to
tree
generations,
doesn't
they
farm.
wasn't nothing.
It may be a
None
record.
of them, anything.
Yeah, really.
Well,
They'd all of it.
oh yeah.
Right, pig farmers, you're right.
Mine, Edwards, you know.
She wasn't lame, no, she wasn't a blue blood.
Yeah. I heard one of those the other day. It was what was it? If you're out on your honeymoon, wait, how did it go?
Well, you know, she was a Kentucky colonel. She had to bury that. She didn't want that out.
All I know is that Wiley Adams, who was the,
If you're out on your honeymoon or going out to eat, and you tell them,
Oh, yeah.
"Don't you upsize it, honey?"
cousin.
Then you know you're a redneck. I didn't say it exactly right, but it was, you know what I'm saying?
Wiley was.
Well, he said it the other day. It was on a commercial, and I was just
I
sitting
knew,
there cracking
you know,
up.
principals and I,
He was in.
well, others one told me they were
He
really
was what?
Adams was on both sides.
Oh,
tiny persons.
On
I
Grand
remember
Rapids
anything
and
about
Grand
it. Me either. Me either. I've
I
never
don't know where
ever.
they came in,
in my life
I don't know
or
anything
anything
about
bad
it, but somewhere along the line.
well, I can't tell you anything bad about her, other than the fact that she left her husband for a stud.
Well, maybe her husband wasn't doing it, maybe he is.
Well, I know, you got a point there. You got a point. I'm not arguing with
He
it.
could have had somebody somewhere else after he's been financed all the way through college.
How do you know that for sure, Mother? And just change the subject. Mother.
Well, you know how I feel.
Let me tell you something though, think about. The Wrights owned a hotel
Okay,
in Neon.
right.
They're right.
Benton,
Right.
Benton,
Okay, Benton,
I
right.
have a feeling that they may have been better off than the Adams.
They probably were.
And Benton was a Marine veteran. And the Wrights.
probably had a GI Bill.
The Wrights that veterans had plus what the Wrights had, I don't know why they needed granddad.
Yeah, I don't either.
Well,
See,
you-
I don't know that story. I'm not denying it.
We don't know for sure.
I just don't understand it.
Who worked down the clubhouse?
Huh?
Who worked the clubhouse?
I'm learning some things I
I don't know what you're referring to.
Didn't Granddaddy and some doctor go into business
Oh,
together?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
they had the coal bid.
Whole business.
Yeah, didn't he have a clubhouse?
I don't know
Companies
about
told her.
that.
Now, if they did, I don't remember it. They may have, but,
But that was after,
see, he owned a hotel up there in, Letcher County.
I think.
Whitesburg.
White's County.
Whitesburg.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they probably had something there, I don't know. I never did understand that. Granddad had so much going, of course he spent
the
an awful lot
doctor
of
had a
money.
hospital in
Well,
Fleming.
just like,
Huh?
The doctor had a hospital in Fleming. That's where Grandmother Adams died.
Yeah.
Was in his hospital.
I thought Granddaddy bought that place.
Beverly,
No,
He
they
threatened to
weren't.
buy it. He threatened to buy it.
just a second.
you don't mind.
Yeah, I do.
I'm sorry?
Granddaddy threatened to buy the hospital and fire the doctor.
Yeah, he's gonna buy the hospital.
You may be right.
Yeah.
I mean,
He tore a
said
wall down, I know
he
that
went
much.
down
They tore that
anything
wall down and brought Grandma's bedroom set up to her
In the hospital.
Where'd you get that?
for mine.
Mom said it. And when he bought that house down in Berea, that little house, it was Granddad's, it was her grandmother,
You better.
because it was
You can copy
probably one of the,
You can
he
copy
gave
that.
her a nicer place to live
Well, Granddaddy's conscience started working on it too at the end too.
years
Oh,
of cancer.
Well, they.
Every time she said, I like that house,
Yeah,
he'd go buy it.
yeah,
Anything she wanted.
yeah.
I mean, the house after house, all up and down the big sandy and throughout the
That was
county.
Granddaddy Adams.
Yeah. Well, I know. That's
She's
why I
always
said
that lovely, sitting back over there across that little creek.
I went,
Was a river.
but I'll
Next
never
thing she
forget
knew,
the
she
day.
lived it.
That's right. And I remember we were at West Virginia and I wanted a bicycle so bad that Granddaddy got a girl's bicycle, because the boys had it. And I actually had a girl's bicycle.
Yeah, they much of it.
You're the only one that ever got a new bike in the family.
No, I got one.
No, Tom and I.
They had bicycles.
I've had a new one.
I learned
Tom
to
and I-
ride.
Huh?
I learned to ride a bicycle and a boy's bicycle, and they put me on and scooted. When you fall, it didn't hurt because they're here.
I did that with a girl's bike. Let me tell you, I walked like this for a long time.
But
Thanks, Brad.
I don't know what's west.
Still do.
I don't know what's west.
Yeah,
or
that's-
east. I wanted to ride and I was scared. So they
That's all
get
I
on the
missed.
bike and they shoved me and I kept going and
Going down to the
going.
couch.
So then Granddaddy got me a girl's
If you got that on
bicycle so I
camera, that'd
could
have
get
been
down
pretty lucky.
easier.
It's on there.
Oh, jeez.
But you know, it's
Those are things that happen just for
Still alive.
kids.
We figured that
Some of
part
those
out.
things wasn't that.
Happened when you were
still
kids, right?
Pretty good.
well,
I
yes,
don't
mostly,
know about
mostly children.
being in the paper.
Yeah, I can remember somebody said it to Mom, but
And how
I
come he only got a year?
I don't know. That I don't know.
I'd shoot him. If I met him on the street today, I'd probably kill him. For killing my aunt.
Oh,
I love Ruby. She was so good and kind.
Oh, my word.
I know, and I had to really look and then I realized
Patty?
who it was.
Yeah.
You want to do?
That's
You're
what
not
you
ready.
Oh, you're gonna do it?
I take all my shoes off and look at my bunions, but my feet are swollen.
Are you gonna do the do?
My-
Do
We're gonna turn like wig. Because she's leaving in the morning.
Pictures, you gotta get pictures of this. Gotta get pictures when I do it.
But you older brothers have helped me so much. Instead of imagining
That's the more of it.
what happened, then now I know happened,
You know, I didn't
and
know
I can
these
feel better now.
Well, we all tell the
Yeah,
same
oh, yeah.
story, we'll tell it. Things you remember.
Go get that
more
thing
like
out, would
yours. See, I don't remember.
But see, I idolized my big brothers. They probably didn't idolize me,
Beverly, get going.
Well, you know we did.
because I grew up with four of them before I ever had
I
sisters.
can't believe
And
it.
then she came along with another sister and then another brother.
Beverly.
So I'm glad I didn't grow up with more than,
Did somebody slip you a jalapeno today?
huh?
Somebody slipped jalapenos to you.
There's
I don't know. I woke up dingy, and I probably still am
You are
that way.
dingy today. Now go get that wig on.
Well, I gotta go get it.
I don't even know who that is.
You have to remind me what I'm going after.
Yeah.
Mom can tell you.
Mark.
Where's Kibble? Come here, Wes.
You forget, she lived with us, Mark. She lived with us. Beverly.
His grand-
I said she lived with
granddad.
me.
Here, honey.
That's me on now. That's Tom. Isn't it?
Oh,
Who's that?
maybe not.
Can't see, that's
I
me.
come and visit so long. I told
Yeah.
Bev that.
I don't know, I can't tell.
You know, he just sits so long.
Yeah, that's gotta be me.
And said, want me to do your hair too? Come here, you little
I don't know.
pumpkin. I'll cut you. I'll cut those whiskers off. Look at his eyes. Bum.
That's Beverly Mitchell.
What do you want me to do?
Is that who
Cut
that
your
is?
hair?
Yeah.
There you go. He likes me.
Do his hair?
Yeah. Stop that.
That's Beverly?
That's because you spoke to the Sunday student the other night.
This is a spooky cat.
Why?
Cause his eyes, he just like, it kind of
Terrace
looks like
Rudy.
he can know what you're thinking.
I know it.
Well, it looks like
Very
from the
bad
size of that
thing.
picture, I was
Up
probably,
here.
I mean, the size of
Up here.
Tom and
Bad
the size
cat.
of, if that's you back there?
Yeah.
I was in the Navy.
Marley,
No.
our little baby.
Yeah?
Wave to everybody. Wave to everybody. Hi.
Wave.
Look,
I was in the Navy?
isn't that a cute cat?
Nothing.
It is a
I
cute
can't
cat.
believe this.
No, I was just trying to make some room here.
It's us in this way.
You trying that, are you?
Ben, look at this cat.
Yes.
Baby.
So-
What?
I
I
hate
don't
it.
believe it.
Okay.
Don't
Good
believe it.
shot.
Sit down.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting about that
You got a man?
camera.
Hi.
Mark does.
Oh.
Oh.
Don't hit me.
Here.
Don't hit me. Look at me. Hey, look. Come meet Mickey. He'll eat you. Wanna come meet Mickey?
He'll eat you.